Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajal Sukyaji and Dr. Bhavik Zaveri, for taking all the efforts and in organizing this webinar. And Happy World Physiotherapy Day to each and everybody present here. Okay, so
Thank you.
without wasting time, I'm sharing my presentation, and we will now talk on.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, but I
Yes,
have one instruction to pass on to all the
yes,
participants.
yes.
Okay, uh, this is for participants. I request to listen the webinar very carefully because end of the webinar, okay, to get an e-certificate, you have to answer certain questions, okay, which will be covered in today's presentation. Fine. So do carefully listen the webinar. Okay, whenever you find that okay, this is an important instruction or the uh, instruction topic. Okay, just note that down so that it will be helpful to you in answering the questions to get an e-certificate. Okay, over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bhavik. One more instruction for students. Please keep your chair ready. We will be doing exercises after the session, during end of the session. So I'll be demonstrating exercise. If you want, you can do at your home. Okay, I'm presenting my screen now. Just a minute. Can you all able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, dear all, today our topic is evidence-based advanced physiotherapy treatment in Parkinson's disease. As Dr. Rajal has already mentioned that I've been a part of uh, BKP PDMDS, that is BK Parekh Parkinson Disease and Movement Disorder Society since 2011. And I'm working with so many patients with Parkinson's, and we are doing very various treatment protocols with them. So, from my experience and what are the recent or present scenario, I am taking this lecture. So, without wasting much time, we'll be starting our session. Okay. So, first of all, what is Parkinson's? What is Parkinson's disease? As we all know, in layman term, it is known as कंपावात અને ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ તો કંપવા हिंदी में कंपवात या कंपवा से जिससे हम जानते हैं that is Parkinson disease. So, what are the main features? What are the motor and non-motor symptoms? We will discuss. Okay. So, firstly, it's a neurological condition. As you all know, it's a movement disorder. And worldwide prevention is 10 million. It is quite a big amount of population is affected with the Parkinson disease. And the present Indian estimate is around 1 million people, old age people, are affected with Parkinson disease. So, what is the definition? So, to be precise, Parkinson disease is a progressive disorder of central nervous system with both motor and non-motor symptoms. Many of you already know that the Parkinson affects the movement, but very few students know that it also affects our non-motor systems. So Parkinson is basically named after the James Parkinson, who was a surgeon who published an essay on shaking palsy in 1870s. Right. So initially it was known as shaking palsy, and after that it is known as Parkinson disease. Parkinson disease, please focus on these 3 points. First, it's a neurological disorder. That means it involving brain. Second, it is slowly progressive and degenerative disorder. Progressive in terms of disease may increase day after another. And it's a degenerative. That means it slowly increases over time as your age advances. And the third main point is it's a movement disorder, condition in which the movement gets affected. Though the definition focuses mainly on the movement disorder, it has non-motor symptoms too. Okay, what is the incidence? It's a second only to Alzheimer's disease. I think you all must be knowing what is Alzheimer's disease. Second, more than 2% of people older than 65 years of age have Parkinson's disease. It's a quite a big number, right? Average onset is around 40 to 60 years. So most of the patient you will see, they must be around between 40 to 60 years of age. There is also early onset Parkinson disease before 60 years, in which we have again two categories: young onset, that is more than 21 years of age, and early onset, we know less than 20 years of age, that is juvenile onset Parkinson disease. I think this must be new for you, but it is there. And men and women are almost equally affected. Now, what is the cause? Now, which area in the brain is responsible for smooth and accurate movement? So, it is basal ganglia. So, area in our brain is basal ganglia. Cells in the basal ganglia produces a chemical. Which chemical? That is dopamine. The amount of dopamine is decreased in Parkinson's. So, dopaminergic neuron, the number of dopaminergic neuron is reduced, and that causes decrease in dopamine secretion, which causes movement disorder known as Parkinson disease. Okay, so these four are clinical hallmarks of Parkinson disease. Tremor, it's a TRAP. Easy to remember? TRAP. T stands for tremor, R for rigidity, A for akinesia or bradykinesia, that is slowness of movement, and the fourth one is the postural instability. Okay. Now we'll focus on motor symptoms. Which symptoms are the motor symptoms? We will be mainly concentrating on treatment approaches. So I am going really fast with the basic of Parkinson disease. Is that okay? All right.
Yes, ma'am. Not an issue because majority of students are from third year, final year, and PG students.
Okay, good. So this is revision for them. So what are the motor symptoms? As I already mentioned, first is tremor, rigidity, bradykinesia, and postural instability. The other symptoms are forward tilt to posture, that is forward head posture, stoop posture, reduce arm swinging because the shoulder are already rounded and internally rotated, and rigidity is also there. So arms are already stuck to the body. So reduce arm swinging, slowness of movement, that is bradykinesia. So whichever activity they do, they can't do with the normal speed. Okay, then short and shuffling gait. Also the tremor, rigidity and tremor of extremity and head both. They also have difficulty in swallowing. They can't swallow, right? That the chewing speed is also slow, and they have difficulty in swallowing too. They have speech impairment also. Slow and monotonous speech is a classical sign of Parkinson disease. The slowness of movement, the slowness of speech, even the speech is also slow, monotonous, and slurred speech. So most of the time, whatever they are telling to you, you can't understand because the volume of the speech is very low, and they are speaking in very monotonous way. Monotonous means एक ही टोन में बोलना. If ever they are angry, they speak with the same tone. If they are happy, they speak with the same tone. Blank facial expression, mask-like face. They have emotions, but the expressions are not there. They have emotion, but they cannot express. So it is expressionless face, that is a blank facial expression, or decreased responsiveness to facial expression. It is also known as hypomania. The other frequent signs are slowness of movement and balance problem and falls. As you all know, you all are third, final year and MPT students. You all know wherever the balance is affected, there will be chances of fall. So patient may fall from slippery surfaces while walking. As they walk, the speed advances. Sometimes it is difficult for them to stop while walking. So balance problem, and because of balance problem, they may fall. The other difficulty in dressing, eating, and other day-to-day activity. So difficulty in dressing, eating, and other activities of daily living, which means that you can say that they are slow. The rigidity is there. In layman terms, stiffness is there, the tremor is there, they have decreased balance capacity, right? So these all things collectively affect the day-to-day activity. They can't slow, they can't eat because the speed is very slow, the chewing is very slow, the eating is affected, dressing is also affected, right? And what is the visible sign is a social stigma, right? I don't know whether you follow ICF model or not. There is two terms, activity participation and participation restriction in ICF model. So what is participation restriction? कि आप society में कितना participate करते हैं, right? So because of tremor or rigidity or all these symptoms, patient feel embarrassed to participate in the society. So Parkinson disease can cause participation restriction in the society because in our society, people ask questions, they feel embarrassed or they feel fearful. If ever I'll fall, कोई पूछेगा कि क्यों आपके हाथ कांप रहे हैं? Why are you so slow? Why are you not doing your activity like that you were doing previously? Right. The social stigma is also there. These all are the motor and social symptoms and the non-motor symptoms. Right. Memory problems and confusion. They have memory problems. Each and every patient with Parkinson disease, whoever is showing you a memory problem, don't mark them as Alzheimer's disease or something else. The diagnosis needs to be done according to the symptom. Right. Memory problems and confusion. They have difficulty in planning and execution too. If you say that you have to plan a dinner for 4 or 5 people today, they cannot plan out activity कि फर्स्ट मुझे वेजिटेबल लाने हैं, किसको बुलाना है, क्या डिनर में मेन्यू रखना है. They cannot do all these things into the sequence, right? Depression is one of the non-motor symptoms. One thing I want to clear at this point, whichever symptom I am mentioning, they are mainly theoretical. Each and every patient won't show you all symptoms, right? Some symptoms are present, some symptoms may not be present, right? Depression may be there or for shorter period of time or for longer period of time. Okay. The third non-motor symptom is hallucination and delusion. Now, what is hallucination? Hallucination is nothing is there but patient watches or perceive the things as if के सांप है ही नहीं, स्नेक है ही नहीं, और पेशेंट ऐसे बोल रहे हैं कि मुझे तो सांप दिखा, मैम मैंने तो सांप देखा, तो दैट इज हेल्यूजन, नथिंग इज देयर, पर पेशेंट आपको बोलते हैं कि मुझे सांप दिख रहा है, दैट इज हेल्यूसिनेशन. प्लीज डोंट कंफ्यूज हेल्यूसिनेशन विद इल्यूजन. इल्यूजन इज देयर, समथिंग इज देयर, बट पेशेंट इज परसीविंग इट डिफरेंटली. अगर रोप है और पेशेंट को स्नेक दिख रहा है तो दैट इज इल्यूजन. एंड व्हाट इज हेल्यूसिनेशन? नथिंग इज देयर बट पेशेंट परसीविंग समथिंग, दैट इज हेल्यूजन. Other symptom is delusion, non-motor symptom. What is delusion? Patient constant have thought that कि मेरे अगेंस्ट कुछ कॉन्स्पिरेसी हो रही है. People are planning any conspiracy or any bad things against me. They are talking about me, right? So that is delusion. Fourth important symptom is sleep problems and daytime sleepiness. It can be both. Patient can't sleep in the night, and second, daytime sleepiness is also there. It can be because of drugs or it can be because of Parkinson itself. The next symptom is fatigue. Fatigue means they feel tiredness, lethargy. They feel tiredness without no reason. I have done nothing from the morning, but I am feeling tired. It's a non-motor symptom of Parkinson disease. Okay, the last symptom is constipation and urinary problems. They as I already said, there is a slowness of movement. There is also a slowness of peristalsis movement of intestine that can cause a constipation, and they have urinary problems too. Now, if some patients with Parkinson complains that कि मुझे रात को बहुत बार जाना पड़ता है और I feel constipated, okay, you send it to neurologist or their family physician or something, right? And they do medications and all. But one thing as a physiotherapist, you have to keep in mind that each and every time, don't blame Parkinson's for the constipation and urinary problems. There can be some other reason too, because they are old age people. That can be things with the prostate, that can be things with the diet change. Okay, So multiple reason हो सकते हैं constipation और urinary problems से. Of course, it is a non-motor symptom of Parkinson disease, but you need to evaluate. For old age with Parkinson patients, you cannot blame each and everything for Parkinson's, but you know all this stuff. Okay, so this is for you. Response fluctuation to drugs, on period, off period, and varying of phenomena. Now, what is on period? On period refers to the periods of the day when the medication is working well, resulting in adequate control of symptom. Right. So, if I am taking medicines 7 a.m. in the morning, and my medicine starts working after 8 a.m. in the morning. So from 8 a.m. to say 11 a.m. or 12 noon, I am under the effect of my medicine. So this is my on period when my medications is working and I am relatively free from my symptom. So this is on period. Second is off period, refers to the period of the day when the medication is not working well, causing worsening of Parkinsonian symptoms. That means you have taken medicine, but your medicine is not working well and not causing any relief to your symptoms. So that is off period of medication. And third is a wearing of phenomena. Now, what is wearing of phenomena? The effects of medication will start to decrease in between the medication doses. As I have already said, if I have taken medicine at 7 a.m. in the morning and my medicine start working at 8 a.m. in the morning, so after 5-6 years, that is 4-5 years, 4-5 hours, sorry, 11 after 11 a.m. or 12 noon, the dosage of drug starts decreasing in my body. So that causing again reappearing of my symptom. So it is a varying of phenomenon. The effect of medication will start to decrease in between the medication doses. Okay, so what we will do for assessment? Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative conditions. So we are using scale. When there is a progressive neurological condition, you have to use an outcome measure to check or do follow up with the patient. So we are using modified Hoehn-Yahr staging, that is modified H and Y staging for the patient with Parkinson disease. So it have 0 to 5 stages. So stage 0 is no signs of disease. See, again, they have written no signs of disease, right? Signs, there is a difference between symptom and sign. Symptom is subjective, which patient tells you. And signs are objective. As a doctor, as a physiotherapist, we observe, right? So stage 0 is objective sign. No signs of disease. Stage 1 is unilateral disease. Many students may not be knowing that this Parkinson also starts from unilateral side. Tremors दोनों हाथ में एक साथ आना शुरू नहीं हो जाती है. So stage 1 is unilateral disease. Stage 1.5 is unilateral plus axial involvement. Your half of the body is involved plus your trunk is also involved. Stage 2. Stage 2 is bilateral involvement without impairment of balance. Your full body is involved, but your balance is still intact. There is no impairment of balance. Stage 2.5 is mild bilateral disease with recovery on pull test. Now I'll be showing pull test in next slide. Mild bilateral disease, your whole body is involved, but when you do pull test, the patient can recover. Stage 3 is mild to moderate bilateral disease, some postural instability and physical independent, right? Mild to moderate bilateral disease. Postural instability is also there. Patient may show postural instability to you, but they are still physically independent. They can do activity of daily living by their own without any assistance. Stage 4, severely disabled, still able to walk and stand unassisted. They are disabled. They may show you dyskinesia, tremors, impairment of balance, but they still able to walk and stand unassisted. And stage 5 is wheelchair bound or bedridden unless aided. Okay, so I'll be showing you pull test. What is pull test? Okay, so this is pull test. In figure A, a lady with a Parkinson disease. In figure 2, in figure B, A physiotherapist is standing behind the patient and he kept his hand around the shoulder of the patient and then he do pulling. He pulled the patient backside. Now be careful, if your patient has very impaired balance, he or she may fall. In last figure, you can make out the patient has fallen almost on the hand of therapist, right? So you have to be very careful in doing this test. So for which stage we are using pull test? Stage 2.5 of modified HNY staging, mild bilateral disease with recovery on pull test. If your patient recovers on pull test, it's modified HNY staging 2.5. Okay, what causes Parkinson disease? At present, there is no definite cause. Researchers are still going on to find out the exact cause of Parkinson disease. It's a combination of risk factor that can predispose to Parkinson disease, genetic factor and environmental factors. So these are some of the environmental factors. That is a repeated head injury. You all must be knowing coup and counter coup injury. This itself a main huge topic to discuss. Exposure to insecticides, pesticides, and herbicides, exposure to metals such as manganese, exposure to heavy chemicals, exposure to certain drugs such as antidepressant drugs or anti-epileptic drugs for longer period of time. If you are taking drugs for shorter period of time, nothing to worry. These drugs will cause side effects if you take it for longer period of time. Okay, rural living and well water. It is suspected फैक्टर्स दैट कैन कॉज पार्किंसन डिजीज. सो हर बार ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने कुएं का पानी पिया है तो मुझे हो जाएगा. These all things are still under research. Okay, so our main focus, treatment option. What are the treatment options? The search for a cure is still on. So to treat patient with Parkinson disease, it should be always multidisciplinary approach. What do you mean by multidisciplinary approach? Alone one treatment or one professional can't help patient with Parkinson disease. If patient is taking medications very regularly, thoroughly as per the guidelines from neurologist, but he is not taking any complementary treatment like physiotherapy, speech therapy, cognitive therapy, and other therapies, then he may not show you improvement. On the other hand, if patient is doing exercises regularly, speech exercises regularly, very good with the lifestyle, good food, nutritive food, doing yoga every day, but he is not taking medicines, then also patient will not improve. So it should be always multidisciplinary approach, medications plus therapy. And in advanced selected cases, there are surgical options too, intestinal pumps, DBS surgery, deep brain stimulation surgery, and apomorphine injections can also be prescribed. But selection for the patient for the surgery is too crucial. So as a physiotherapist, it is not much our role, but if some patient ask, madam मुझे जाना चाहिए कि नहीं surgery में, then you should advise to visit neurologist and neurosurgeon, right? So our role is mainly to do physiotherapy. Now one thing I want to clear here is when we make a goal for patient, if you are using ICF model, हम अगर शॉर्ट टर्म गोल बनाते हैं फिर लॉन्ग टर्म गोल बनाते हैं, so we focus mainly on symptoms and signs we see, and sometimes therapists ignore patients complaint. अगर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे पेशेंट का सिट टू स्टैंड एक्टिविटी बहुत खराब है and I want to address sit to stand in my treatment protocol, but your patient complains I am okay with my sit to stand but I want to improve my walking. So one thing you have to remember, always keep patient's preference in mind and then make a goal. Patient, therapist, patient's caregiver and family members are also important in making goal for treatment plan. हमें जो साइन सिम्टम हमारा असेसमेंट से लग रहे हैं, true, we are correct, but we have to take consideration of patient's priorities too. If somebody is working, right, मुझे दौड़ के बस पकड़नी है, मुझे वॉकिंग तो चाहिए, मेरा स्टेप अप तो बराबर चाहिए, हाँ, सिट टू स्टैंड मुझे नहीं है, मैं बस स्टैंड पे खड़ा ही रहूंगा। तो आपको वॉकिंग के ऊपर फोकस करना है। तो आपका जो भी गोल है वो पेशेंट की कंप्लेन और आपके असेसमेंट दोनों का कलेक्टिव असेसमेंट ध्यान में लेके हुए होना चाहिए। Okay, so what we are doing in our NGO, our NGO is BKP Parkinson Disease and Movement Disorder Society. We do art therapy, yoga, physiotherapy, counseling and psychotherapy. We do cognitive therapy with different games and all. We also do dance and movement therapy. Uh, then we do diet and nutrition, speech therapy, many things, right? So our center is in Surat. Uh, in Jivan Vikas Trust School, Adajan. We do free of cost treatment at 10 a.m. to 12 noon at every Sunday. We are not providing any medications. It's basically a group exercise session. Okay. So what is the role of physiotherapy treatment? Now read this sentence very carefully. To improve movement, of course it's a movement disorder and we are physiotherapists, we are dealing with movement of patients. To improve movement and independence in activities of daily living, independence in ADL. Now, अगर मैं कोई थेरापी का आज प्रोग्राम बना रही हूँ, मैं 4-5 एक्सरसाइज मेरे पेशेंट को करवा रही हूँ, पर अगर वो घर जाके उसकी कोई भी एडीएल में हेल्प नहीं कर रहा है तो वैसे एक्सरसाइज प्रोग्राम का कोई मतलब नहीं है, राइट? अगर पेशेंट आपके थेरापी सेंटर में, क्लिनिक पे, आपके हॉस्पिटल सेटअप में बहुत अच्छे से एक्सरसाइज कर रहा है, पर जैसे ही वो आपके सेंटर के बाहर जाता है, सिम्टम्स एज इट इज रहते हैं, तो वो थेरापी का कोई मतलब नहीं है। योर थेरापी, योर ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल should affect or should positively change the activities of daily living, positively change the quality of life of a patient. As a physiotherapist, we are to heal, right? अगर हम एक्टिविटी ऑफ डेली लिविंग पे या क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ में चेंज कर सकते हैं, वैसा एक्सरसाइज प्रोटोकॉल बनाते हैं, तो वो ज्यादा बेटर है, क्योंकि जो भी हम करवाते हैं उसका कैरी फॉरवर्ड डे टू डे एक्टिविटी में होना चाहिए। Okay, so what are the traditional approaches? See, I am focusing on both traditional approaches as well as recent approaches, what we are doing. So traditional approaches, we are still using traditional approaches. The people get benefits from traditional approaches too. Okay, the leg strengthening exercise. So you can do leg strengthening exercise in both position, in supine lying position and in standing position. But the selection of position varies from patient to patient as per the balance impairment of the patient. If the balance of your patient is impaired, you should not go for leg strengthening exercises in standing position. Rather, you should opt for supine lying position or prone lying position, any lying position for strengthening exercises. If your patient's balance is good, if he can maintain standing for few minutes or for longer period of time, you can go for leg strengthening exercises in standing position too. आप वेट यूज कर सकते हो, आप थेरा ट्यूब्स यूज कर सकते हो, थेरा बैंड्स यूज कर सकते हो। स्ट्रेंथनिंग एज पर योर प्रोटोकॉल, आप जैसे ही नॉर्मल पेशेंट में करते हो, यू कैन गो फॉर लेग स्ट्रेंथनिंग एक्सरसाइजेस, बट द सिलेक्शन ऑफ पोजिशन, स्टार्टिंग पोजिशन, वेदर इट शुड बी स्टैंडिंग और lying position, it depends on the balance impairment of patient. Second traditional approach is mat exercises. This is the most important. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि पेशेंट वॉकिंग और वो सब अच्छे से करता है, बट समटाइम्स दे कंप्लेन कि मुझे बेड पे टर्निंग में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है, आई कैन नॉट टर्न माई बॉडी, राइट? तो ये सब चीजें सिखाने के लिए, टर्निंग इन द बेड, गोइंग इनटू प्रोन फ्रॉम सुपाइन लाइन पोजीशन, सुपाइन टू सिट, साइड लाइन टू सिट, ये सब सिखाने के लिए मैट एक्सरसाइजेस बहुत ही ज्यादा जरूरी है। Most of the patient will complain that my symptoms are increased in the morning. Why their symptoms are increased in the morning? Because रात को अगर 8 या 10 बजे दवाई ली है, सुबह उठते उठते उसकी असर एकदम लो हो गई है, तो मॉर्निंग में सिम्टम वैसे भी ज्यादा होंगे, राइट? तो मैट एक्सरसाइजेस, टर्निंग इन द बेड, मूविंग इन द बेड इज important. So traditional mat exercises also help patient in movement. Okay, fine motor and upper limb exercises. Now see this picture, what they are doing. जाएंगे और फिर आपको खा लेंगे। और अगर आपको इंडिपेंडेंटली करना है तो you have to take out your medicine by your own and you have to have fine motor control, right? And upper limb exercises. So we are doing fine motor things. Fine motor के लिए हम लोग क्या क्या यूज करते हैं? We are using pack boards. We can use rubber band for activity. Traditional for home exercise, patients are using smiley balls, right? You can do n number of exercises in fine motor exercises, right? You can use rope and beads for fine motor exercises. You can use TheraBand. You can use balloon for stretching with the fingers. You can do tip to tip activities, fingertip to finger, thumb tip. You can do fisting and opening, right? The second exercise is wand exercises, the one which we are using with the stick. आप लोग सब shoulders कंडीशन जिनको होती है उनमें वेंड एक्सरसाइजेस यूज करते ही होंगे. सो दिस इज वेंड एक्सरसाइजेस ट्रेडिशनल. यू कैन यूज सेम एक्सरसाइजेस विद पेशेंट्स with Parkinson disease. Okay, the next is balance training. Now I have kept a photo of balance training. This is tandem stand. पर आपको सीधा tandem standing के ऊपर या tandem walking के ऊपर नहीं चले जाना है, right? If you are reading Sullivan book, they have given very beautifully balanced training program, right? जैसे ही patient खड़ा है, you have to do weight shift first from right left leg to left leg. Then you can go for lateral reach outs, forward reach outs, tandem stand, and then tandem walk. Okay, so your balance training should be gradual in manner. सीधा ही पेशेंट आया और आपको टेंडम स्टैंडिंग पे खड़ा नहीं कर देना है. The next traditional approach is gait training. You can see in the picture they have kept floor marks to give visual stimulation to the patient. The patient can cross. Patient have visual stimulation, so patient can cross each and every stickers, right? One by one. तो पेशेंट जैसे आप गेट ट्रेनिंग भी कर सकते हो. जैसे आपने देखा होगा कि पेशेंट शफलिंग गेट या फेस्टिनेटिंग गेट पे चलते हैं, राइट? तो जैसे वो फेस्टिनेटिंग या शफलिंग गेट में पेशेंट चलते हैं तो उसको सुधारने के लिए first thing is you have to give them command walk heel to toe. Don't drag your legs, lift your leg, walk heel to toe. They can do practice of walking in a circular manner, in figure of 8, in T walking, in zigzag walking. You have to provide as a physiotherapist a floor marks. आपको floor marks provide करने हैं in zigzag pattern में. आप capital letter T बना दो. आप 2 chairs रख दो and patient will go turn around and come. Patient will walk in figure of 8. These all things you can do in gait training. Okay, so our main topic is which recent approaches we are using for patient with PD. This is the list of recent approaches we are using at our center. First is Tai Chi, then is LSVT, that is Lee Silverman voice therapy, chair aerobics, boxing, laughter therapy, functional training, and environmental modification. So we'll go one by one. Keep your chair ready. We'll be doing practicals. Okay. So what is Tai Chi? Tai Chi is often described as a meditation in motion, but it might well be called as medication in motion. So in yoga, when we do pranayam, we do static posture, right? We do static padmasana and finger mudras mainly. We do posture and we do breathing in Sukhasana or Padmasana position, right? But in Tai Chi, it's a meditation in motion. So we do breathing exercises while moving. Okay, it's an internal martial art in the sense that it focuses on mental and spiritual aspects integrated into movement. It is known to strengthen mind and body both. बैकग्राउंड में एक अच्छा सा म्यूजिक भी स्लो में बजता है. आपने कभी सुना भी होगा. Okay, so I'm stop sharing my screen. Okay, am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will be doing practicals now. So what is Tai Chi? I will demonstrate few exercises of Tai Chi. Very few, 2 to 3 exercises of Tai Chi. Okay, so जो भी लोग बैठे हैं, okay, this is I am sitting on a chair. Patient ऐसे chair पे बैठे हैं, and if Tai Chi is a, as I have said, it's very slow movement, slowly. So we are moving body very slowly in rhythmic manner, and we do breathing exercise simultaneously. So if I want to do Tai Chi exercises with my hands, I am demonstrating one exercise, uh, as if I am painting my wall. Okay, the exercise is like painting a wall. So how will I paint wall? Okay, so my hand should be like this. हाथ ऐसे नीचे है, finger toe down, wrist in the flexion. Okay, assume that there is a slow music. Huh? Okay, so we are doing this movement from down to up. Again, we change the position and we go from up to down. You can do with me from down to up and up to down. Our fingers moves like a paintbrush. Okay, but in very slow manner. So down to up and from up to down. These are the movement. Slow and rhythmic movement along with the breathing. So whenever I am moving my hands up, I do breathe in, and whenever I am moving my hands down, I do breathe out. Okay, so deep breathe in, move your hands up, change the position of your wrist, draw your hands down and breathe out. You can do breathe out from your mouth. So breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. If balance is good, if your patient's balance is good, they can do these exercises in standing. If not, you can use chair and you can do same exercises. The next exercise is we are doing as if the cloth is moving in the air. Okay, imagine the flag moving in the air. So we'll be making cloth, moving cloth with our hands. So we'll be going from left to right. We'll change the position of our hand and we'll do right, right to left. My fingers are relaxed, my wrists are relaxed. Right, from left to right and from right to left. Again from left to right, from right to left. Now you can see we are using hand movements, breathing and trunk rotations too. Whenever we are turning to left and moving our hand, we are rotating our trunk too. So traditional अगर हम कुछ करते हैं, आपको trunk ऐसे घुमाना है, hold for 4-5 seconds. Now you rotate your trunk, hold for 5-6 seconds. Right. Instead of doing all this, you are doing both activity, hand activity, breathing, and your trunk rotation. Right. From left to right, from right to left. There are n number of Tai Chi exercises available on internet. You can go Google it, YouTube it, and you will find and learn Tai Chi for your patients with Parkinson disease. Right. One more exercise with Tai Chi can improve coordination of patient. You have to make a circle in the air. This may be very easy for you, but when you do with the patient, your patient hardly moves 6-7 circles. The shoulder starts paining, the rigidity won't allow them to move their hand, right? So from down to up, from up to down. So whenever we are going from down to up, we'll be doing breathe in, and whenever we are moving from up to down, we'll be doing breathe out. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You can use both your hands. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. This is a mirror image I am doing. You can do simultaneous too, right? In the same direction. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so there are so many exercises available on internet. You can use those exercises. Okay, again I am sharing my screen for next approach, that is LSVT. Okay, I'll show you picture first so that you can have idea, and then we'll do demonstration. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is LSVT. So this is first exercise of LSVT. LSVT is 6 to 7 exercises. So this is first. Now what is LSVT? LSVT is Lee Silverman voice therapy. So this is its first exercise. So whatever we are doing in large movement, and simultaneously we are speaking or counting very loudly. So large and loud is LSVT. So we are moving big and large, and we are counting or speaking very loudly. Okay, so I'll be starting these exercises. First, sit on your chair with your legs wide apart, hands on your knees or near your thigh. So first we are starting. The first picture is out big. So whenever she is elevating her arms in forward position, it's a out. She's reaching out big, then down big, then up big, then back, and it hold for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then end big. So what we will be doing, I'll be demonstrating this. Okay. So everybody on the chair with their legs wide apart and hands on your thigh. So you'll be starting and speaking loud. So it's a out, out, down, up, and back. Now we will hold this position for 10 seconds and very loudly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and finish. One more time I'll show you. Out, down, up, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and finish. Okay. Now you all must be wondering कि हम back पे ही क्यों 10 second hold करते हैं? Why we are not holding out position? Why we are not holding for up position and down position? Why back? Because they have very stoop posture and forward head posture. So when we are stretching our hands back, so we are stimulating our spinal muscles, our scapular muscles, our neck muscles to be erect. So that is the reason we are holding back position for 10 seconds. See, Lee Silverman voice therapy has two portions. Lee Silverman voice therapy and Lee Silverman has two portions. Sorry, LSVT big and LSVT loud. LSVT big in terms of exercises, movement big or small. So LSVT big is in terms of exercises, and LSVT loud is in terms of voice. So in LSVT, we are addressing almost each and every body part. We are speaking, we are moving our back, we are moving our neck, we are moving our hands, we are moving our leg, because certain exercises are there which are in standing positions too. Okay, so again I am sharing my screen. So I have demonstrated only one exercise to you, right? Because we are running short of time. Okay, so what I have demonstrated was floor to ceiling exercise. We have side to side exercise, forward step and reach exercise, sideways step and reach exercise, backward step and reach exercise, forward rock and reach exercise, very good from arm swinging, sideway rock and reach exercise, and sit to stand. Okay, so this is what I have demonstrated. These are the certain postures we assume during LSVT. Now you can see the fourth one, the fourth picture. See the position of spine and legs. It will address your balance, your trunk rotation, your leg movement, your leg muscle activation, your hand muscle activation, whole body activation in one time. You can do in standing and sitting with the chair with modification as per your patient's capability. Okay, so we are doing chair aerobics. If your patient can't stand for a long period of time, you can go for chair aerobics, right? Okay, so which are the chair aerobics? Keeping, marching with arm swing, jumping jack, sitting or lateral flexion, tongue twisting, lower abdominal strengthening, chair swimming, and clapping. So again, we will be doing. Okay, so everybody, please be on your chair. Sorry. Everybody, please be on your chair. Right. So what was the first exercise? The first exercise was skipping. Okay, so you can do skipping. Dorda kudwa, Gujarati ma. Huh? Skipping. So you can do skipping in sitting position. But not only hand movements, your legs movements too. So you do one, you do two with your leg movements up. So whenever you are rotating your hands, you have to lift your leg up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. The next exercise was marching. Okay. You can do marching in sitting position, lifting up your legs and moving your arm. But the problem with Parkinson patient, they cannot do coordinated activity or alternate activity. Whenever we are doing marching, our hand moves in opposite direction. Right? If I am lifting my left hand, my right hand will go forward. Right? But what they will do, they'll do like this. Poor coordination. And we have to do, okay, alternate movement. Marching. Marching should be like marching. वो ढीला ढीला नहीं होना चाहिए. You have to motivate your patient to do marching. Okay, जैसे soldiers march करते हैं वैसे. Come on. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay. You can work on their abdomen in sitting position. What you can do? The patient sitting comfortably in the chair, legs in long standing position, and what they have to do? They have to move up and down their legs. This they can do. Okay. Their speed may be slow, but they can extend their leg and alternating movement. You can add hand movements with that. It's a chair swimming. Okay. So this exercise, this is very helpful aerobic exercise. You are working on hand, leg, and your abdomen in sitting position. You are doing cardio for them. Okay. The other activity for abdominals, the chair aerobics. Sit like this at the on the edge of a chair, this position, and you have to pull your legs towards your abdomen like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कोर के ऊपर तभी काम कर सकते हैं अगर हम फिजियो बॉल के ऊपर पेशेंट को बिठा देते हैं या फिर अगर हम स्टैंडिंग में ले सकते हैं. Okay, you can work on patient's core muscles, trunk, abdominals with static surface too. Just you have to think creatively. Okay, wait. Okay, then jumping jacks are also there. Trunk twisting you can use. What I have shown you is a chair swimming and lower abdominal strengthening, and clapping. Okay, I'll demonstrate clapping. Okay, boxing. Boxing अभी बहुत नया आया है and patient thoroughly enjoy it and it's very much helpful for improvement of hand function. Okay, so I'll be demonstrating you clapping from chair aerobics and boxing. So we have 4 types of boxing which we are using as a treatment, that is jab, cross jab, hook and uppercut. Jab, cross jab, hook and uppercut. Okay, so first I'll demonstrate clapping. So how will you do clapping with as an exercise? So it's not clapping like this, huh? We are not watching in a film and we are appreciating. This is not clapping as an exercise. Clapping as exercise is widening of your hand and you are doing clapping. So you are going into posture correction exercise first and then you are doing clapping. So head straight, back straight, hands are wide and apart in fully retracted manner and then clapping. हाथ पोड़ा करो अने ताड़ी पाड़ो. Okay. So as a layman, हम patient को क्या बोलते हैं? Imagine that you are a god or goddess and you have to give blessings to others, your devotees. So they do like this with both their hands and then we start clapping. So this is clapping exercise. Okay. Now I am coming to boxing. What we are doing as a boxing? So boxer क्या करता है? This is its starting position. He is saving his head and neck from the punch. Okay, उसको बचाना है अपना head और neck. So ये उसका starting position है. So for upper limb, for bug movement, for forceful movement, we are doing boxing. So first is a jab. So how will you do? अगर हम सीधा मुक्का मारते हैं, तो it's a jab. Okay. So we start with the music, something very energetic or beat जिसमें बराबर हो वैसा music के साथ. Okay, 1, 2, 3. आपके पास वो punching bag होना जरूरी नहीं है. Patient will do in the air only. Okay. This is just a movement, but it is very easy to explain. Can you explain? अभी आप एल्बो फ्लेक्स कीजिए, अभी आप शोल्डर को आगे कीजिए, अभी आप मुट्ठी बनाइए, अभी आप मुट्ठी खोलिए. नहीं, वो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. यू डू पंच मार लो, हो गया आपका शोल्डर, एल्बो, फिंगर सब कुछ. ओके, सो दिस इज जैब. अगर आप उसको सीधा मारते हो ऑन सामने वाला शोल्डर, दिस इज क्रॉस जैब विथ ट्रंक रोटेशन एंड इन क्रॉस डायरेक्शन. दिस इज क्रॉस जैब. व्हाट इज अपर कट? सामने वाले के नाक के ऊपर या फिर चिन के ऊपर. इफ वी want to hit on chin, on nose, we do trunk, little bending and this. So this is your uppercut. Down and up. This is your uppercut. So आप trunk use करते हो and hand भी use करते हो. Now what is hook? Side way. This way. Okay. Boxing के बहुत ज्यादा part है, पर what we are using is jab, cross jab, uppercut and hook. You can do variation and coordination exercise with boxing. आपको command देना है do right hand jab and left hand cross jab. So they have to process what is right and left in their mind. What was jab? They have to memorize what was jab, what was cross jab, what was uppercut, right uppercut and left hook. So you can do creative with simple 4 exercises. आप उसमें coordination exercises भी add कर सकते हैं. Okay. So next is functional training. Now what is functional training? Functional training is wearing a short, removing a short, wearing lowers, removing lowers and getting out and sitting in a car. Okay. So सिर्फ इतना ही फंक्शनल ट्रेनिंग नहीं है. हम जो भी कुछ फंक्शन करते हैं इसमें ये बेसिक चीजें हैं जो हमें करनी ही पड़ेगी. कपड़े हम पहनते ही है, कहीं बाहर जाना है तो हमें निकलना ही पड़ेगा. तो हाउ वी आर डूइंग, क्योंकि उनको तो तकलीफ है, दोनों हाथ फ्रीज हो गए हैं, ट्रेमर है, पहन नहीं पा रहे, आस्क योर पेशेंट, कोई भी पार्किंसन का पेशेंट मिले, आप टी शर्ट कैसे पहनते हो या फिर आप शर्ट कैसे पहनते हो, उनको डिफिकल्टी होती ही है. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग बेसिकली, जस्ट अ मिनट, सॉरी. So what we mainly use, we use this dupatta, रेगुलर वाला दुपट्टा यूज करना है. इसके दोनों एंड्स जो हैं उसको ऐसे बांध देने हैं. And you have to make a loop. This is a loop. Now I will use this loop in functional training. How will I use? अगर मुझे शर्ट पहनना पेशेंट को सिखाना है, अगर मेरा राइट हैंड वीक है तो मैं पहले राइट हैंड में मेरा स्लीव डालूंगी. तो राइट हैंड अफेक्टेड, देन पीछे, एंड देन माय लेफ्ट हैंड. ओके. अगर मुझे निकालना है तो मेरा जो अच्छा हाथ है वो मैं पहले निकालूंगी और फिर जो मेरा अफेक्टेड हैंड है वो. सो यू कैन यूज दिस सिंपल लुक. टी शर्ट के लिए भी जो हाथ उनका अच्छे से जाता है वो बाद में डालना है, जो अफेक्टेड है उसको पहले डालना है. निकालते वक्त जो अनअफेक्टेड है उसको पहले निकालना है, और जो अफेक्टेड है शर्ट ढीला हो जाएगा तो निकलने में इजी है. सेम थिंग, सेम दुपट्टा यू कैन यूज फॉर लोअर्स. यू कैन यूज दिस लुक एज अ पैंट. नीचे रखना है. पेशेंट विल पुट अप द पैंट, नी लेवल तक लाना है. देन ग्रेजुअली दे विल स्टैंड, they will pull that pant up and they will sit, and then they will tuck in. For removing, they'll tuck out, they'll stand, they remove up to knee level, then again they will sit and they remove their pant. Okay. ज्यादातर फॉल ऐसे ही होते हैं इन द बाथरूम, वेयरिंग अ लोअर्स. ऐसे पहनने गए, बैलेंस नहीं रहा, हिल गए, स्लीपरी सरफेस है तो वो गिर जाते हैं. राइट. सो यू कैन यूज ईच एंड एवरी टाइम. फंक्शनल ट्रेनिंग के लिए आप कपड़े यूज नहीं कर सकते कि आपका शर्ट लेके आना मैं पहनना सिखाऊंगी, आप लोअर्स लेके आना मैं पहनना सिखाऊंगी. नो, यू हैव टू यूज सर्टेन होमली थिंग्स जो इजीली अवेलेबल है वो यूज करके करवाना है. अगेन गेटिंग इन एंड आउट फ्रॉम द कार. ओनली फ्यू स्लाइड्स आर रिमेनिंग आई थिंक. ओके. ओके. सो इमेजिन दिस इज अ कार. ओके. This is a car seat. Patient is already seated in the car. Now, जो यंग लड़कियां होती है, have you seen like जो कैसे कार से निकलती है, एकदम से ऐसे स्टाइल में, हाँ, और फिर खड़े हो जाते हैं. तो हमारे पेशेंट ऐसे नहीं निकल सकते. We have to train them. You have to train them कि आपको पहले रोटेट होना है अपनी ही सीट पे. दरवाजा खोल के रोटेट होना है, एक हाथ से दरवाजा पकड़ना है, दूसरे हाथ से कार का जो फ्रेम होता है वो पकड़ना है, झुकना है, चेयर पे आगे आना है और खड़ा होना है. फिर आगे जाना है और फिर दरवाजा बंद कर देना है. अगर आपको कार में बैठना है, दरवाजा खोलना है. जब तक आप पूरे टर्न नहीं हो जाते हो, फुल टर्निंग नहीं आता है, तब तक आपको बैठना नहीं है. एक बार आप बैठ गए उसके बाद बॉडी अंदर सरका के आपको लेग्स इन लेने हैं. जनरली व्हाट आवर पेशेंट डज, ऐसे अभी पहुंचे ही नहीं और ऐसे बैठ गए, उनको इतना जल्दी बैठ गए, अभी चेयर आई नहीं है, एज पे बैठ गए और फिर वो गिर जाते हैं. और ऐसे अगर एक आध बार गिरे तो फिर वो पार्टिसिपेशन रिस्ट्रिक्शन में बहुत इजीली चला जाता है कि मुझे कार में बैठना सेट नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे ऑटो में बैठना सेट नहीं हो रहा है, आई वोंट गो आउटसाइड, राइट, बिकॉज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी. सो ये आपको सिखाना है. फंक्शनल ट्रेनिंग आपको सिखाना है. अगर ये सारी चीजें आप पेशेंट को सिखाते हो तो हमारे एक्सरसाइज का मतलब है. अगर आप देख रहे हो कि मेरे पेशेंट को नीचे से कार में पैर उठाने के लिए, ऊपर लेने के लिए तकलीफ हो रही है, दैट मीन्स ही हैज टू यूज हिज हिप मसल्स. उसके हिप फ्लेक्शन नहीं हो रहा है, उसके हिप फ्लेक्सर्स वीक है. देन यू कैन ऐड दैट एक्टिविटी इन योर प्रोटोकॉल कि आप हिप फ्लेक्सर्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग कीजिए कि आपसे पैर नहीं उठ रहा है तो आप अंदर कैसे लेंगे, आपकी हिप अबडक्टर्स वीक है जिसकी वजह से आप नहीं ले पा रहे थे. So you assess all these activity कि आपको कौन कौन से काम में तकलीफ पड़ती है. Go and ask your patient ADL में कहाँ कहाँ तकलीफ है. Then assess कि ये अगर तकलीफ है तो कौन से मसल काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, एंड फिर वो मसल के ऊपर आप मैट एक्सरसाइज, लेग स्ट्रेंथनिंग एक्सरसाइज या कोई भी आपका ट्रेडिशनल एक्सरसाइज प्रोटोकॉल है वो आप ट्राई कर सकते हो. पर पेशेंट आया तो फिर उसको लेग एक्सरसाइज सारी करवा दिए, वैसा नहीं है. ओके, सो लास्ट फ्यू स्लाइड्स. सॉरी. So environmental modification. You can do environmental modification. It is the most important. अभी कभी घर में ऐसा होता है कि हमें रेलिंग नहीं चाहिए, हमारा फैंसी लुक चला जाएगा, but that will not work for our patient, right? अगर उनको टॉयलेट में, बाथरूम में रेलिंग चाहिए तो आपको रेलिंग रखनी है, लाइटनिंग प्रॉपर रखनी है कि वो आप देख सके. दूसरी थिंग, आपका फ्लोर जो है वो स्लिपरी नहीं होना चाहिए. मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, घर में बहुत सारी जगह पे डोरमेट होते हैं जहां हमारे पेशेंट फ्रिक्वेंटली फिसल के गिर जाते हैं, क्योंकि डोरमेट के नीचे जो रहता है वो रबर का शील्ड नहीं रहता है. तो नीचे रबर हो जो स्टक हो जाए, जो चिपक जाए फ्लोर से, वैसा डोरमेट रखना है अपने हर एक डोर पे. एट द एंट्रेंस ऑफ योर होम, एट द एंट्रेंस ऑफ योर बाथरूम, एनीवेयर. अगर आपके घर में रग भी है तो वो भी ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जिसका फ्लोर, डोरमेट ऐसा हो कि नीचे फ्लोर से चिपका रहे, जिसके ऊपर से पेशेंट पैर पोंछते वक्त गिर ना जाए, राइट. दूसरा, आपके स्टेयर केस के ऊपर भी रेलिंग होना चाहिए. योर डिपार्टमेंट, योर क्लिनिक, योर फिजियोथेरापी डिपार्टमेंट शुड बी एनवायरमेंटल, पेशेंट फ्रेंडली एनवायरमेंट होना चाहिए कि वो इजीली क्लाइंब कर सके. अगर वो क्लाइंब नहीं कर सकते तो स्लोप होना चाहिए, ठीक है. अगर उनको स्टेयर क्लाइंबिंग, अब जनरली पेशेंट जो पार्किंसन के होते हैं, जो स्टेज 4 या 5 में होते हैं, उसके अलावा सारे क्लाइंबिंग अप एंड क्लाइंबिंग डाउन कर सकते हैं. बाकी जितने होते हैं उनमें थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज, वी आर एंडिंग towards our session. This is together we move better is a main motto of our NGO, that is BKP PDMDS. This photo here is taken from our center only. So these all are patients. Together we move better. हम साथ में ज्यादा अच्छे से कर सकते हैं. Thank you. I am sharing my details. This is my contact details, my phone number, my email address. If you miss this, you can get it from you, Dr. Rajal or Dr. Bhavik Zaveri too. And this is mainly important. These details are from our central office, that is from Mumbai. We are running more than 60 centers across India. मैं सिर्फ सूरत की कोऑर्डिनेटर हूँ. We have more than 60 centers across India. Now this YouTube link, Parkinson's NGO India, we have our YouTube channel. You can go and see the videos, doctors talk, question answer session with neurologist in any regional language, in Hindi, in English, whatever you want in this. If some student want to learn कि मुझे करना है, मुझे सीखना है कि what is Parkinson, तो we have our channel too. You can go on the YouTube and you can check. If somebody has some questions, because it is very huge topic, I have focused only on the things which are new. I thought new to you, which may be new to you. मैंने सिर्फ उसी के ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस किया है. If somebody wants to ask some question or query regarding Parkinson, you can ask me.
Hitesh ma'am, we have Dr. Dhiren with us today, and he is having a query. I would request Dr. Dhiren, can you unmute yourself and ask the question personally to Hitesh ma'am? Dr. Dhiren. Okay, I think he is unable to do that, but his question was, what is the prognosis for Parkinsonism?
See, Parkinsonism prognosis differs from patient to patient. You cannot say a thumb rule or something for prognosis of patient, it's bad or poor. We have patient who are completely independent after having Parkinson's from last 25 years. And we still have patients who are in their early 50s and using canes for walking, and they are having Parkinson for 2 to 3 years only. So it depends from patient to patient, the amount of damage is there in the brain, the amount of reduction in the dopaminergic neurons, right? Again, the cause, whether it is a traumatic cause or the non-traumatic cause. Sometimes if the cause is traumatic, your site where the dopamine gets absorbed is already damaged, then medicine also won't help, right? So it completely depends on patient's condition and progress. There is no thumb rule for progression कि इसका ये सही है, इतने साल में आप सही, but definitely you can manage. Now the problem with our society is diabetes हर घर में है, तो सबने accept कर लिया है, people are taking medicine. Okay, तो पार्किंसन के लिए अभी उतना acceptance नहीं है. Okay, next question.
Ma'am, next question is how pesticides and insecticides can be the risk factor or the causative factor for developing Parkinsonism?
Yeah, they damages the neuron on a long run. If you are exposed for prolonged period of time, they can damage to your neurons. So they can't produce dopamine. Okay, next. Hello.
Okay, ma'am, what can be done for freezing episode during the exercise? Because many times when we are
Yes,
making
of course. Okay, so is for freezing. What you can done freezing? If I'm freeze here, okay. If I'm freeze, you can see my legs, right? I'm freezing. I cannot move my leg. So one thing we can do, we can give them a verbal cue. On the count of 3, you have to lift your leg. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. Other thing you can do, you can put a leg across your patient. See, I am the patient and I am the therapist, so it is difficult for me to demonstrate. So अगर patient ऐसे खड़ा है, my right leg, मान लो कि आपका leg है therapist का, तो आपको ऐसे cross रख देना है and patient will cross over it. Patient will cross over it. ठीक है, आपको ऐसे रख देना है. Laser cane will help to. What all you can do is you can use a sound. अगर कोई song अगर आप तो बजा सकते हो, जैसे कि वो उनको बोलो कि सबकॉन्शियसली रख दो, डल गया दिन तक, हो गया, उठा लिया पैर, हो गई शाम. तो जितनी बार वो सेंटेंस में पॉज आएगा, वो गाने में पॉज आएगा, दे लिफ्ट. या फिर राइट लेफ्ट. सो वर्बल जो कमांड है या विजुअल क्यूज है, वो फ्रीजिंग के लिए ज्यादा हेल्प करते हैं. उसके प्रायर आपको राइट एंड लेफ्ट वेट शिफ्टिंग एक्सरसाइज करवानी है पेशेंट को. सिर्फ शिफ्टिंग एंड शिफ्टिंग विथ लेटरल रीच आउट्स, that will help to overcome freezing. Okay, next question.
Ma'am, one of the question is
Wait. Sorry. Okay. Question.
Okay. What can be the role of caretaker? Okay, in terms of taking good care, in terms of making the patient do exercises at home.
Yeah, very nice question. Whoever has asked, there is a huge caregiver's role is very crucial in rehabilitation for any patient of neurological condition, right? Because they have expression first. I am jotting down some certain points only. Okay, first they have expressionless face. तो लोगों को क्या लगता है, उनको कुछ फील ही नहीं हो रहा है. Emotions are there, but they have expressionless face. Second, they have monotonous speech. खुश भी है तो सेम ही टोन में, अगर किसी को कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करे, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन, बस उतना ही है. अगर कोई मर भी गया है, दुख हुआ है, वो भी वही टोन में आएगा. ठीक है, तो हम जैसे बोलते हैं अरे वाह वाह, तो वो वैसे एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकते विथ फ्लक्चुएशन ऑफ टोन, विथ अप एंड डाउन वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन, वो नहीं कर सकते. मोनोटोनस स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशनलेस फेस, तो पीपल मे परसीव देम एज कि इनको कोई पड़ी नहीं है, तो केयर गिवर रोल इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड देम। दूसरा, दे हैव मेमोरी प्रॉब्लम टू, तो उनको सारी एक्सरसाइज जो आप बताते हो या सिखाते हो वो याद नहीं रहेगी। यू वांट केयर गिवर टू हेल्प देम, समटाइम्स टू असिस्ट देम। सेकेंडली, वी आर ऑल्सो डूइंग केयर गिवर थिंग। हम मंथ में एक बार केयर गिवर मीटिंग भी करते हैं, जिसमें सिर्फ केयर गिवर को हम ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करते हैं जहाँ पे वो अपनी बात रख सकते हैं। बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म तक केयर करते करते केयर गिवर भी थक जाते हैं। So we are addressing their problems too. So caregiver role is at most important. Next.
Okay, anyone having any queries, they can ask,
Yes.
because we are already okay. There is one question you can, ma'am, if you can see this in the chat section. The patient is in last stage of Parkinsonism,
Yes.
and he or she is not responding
Hmm.
and having very less confidence. So, what can be the approach towards that patient?
Yes, you can boost confidence first. Your protocol, आपका प्रोटोकॉल ऐसा होना चाहिए कि सर्टेन एक्सरसाइज, ईच एंड एवरी एक्सरसाइज कांट चैलेंज पेशेंट। पूरा प्रोटोकॉल ऐसे नहीं बनाना है कि हर एक एक्सरसाइज उनको चैलेंज करेगा, अरे ये तो नहीं हो रहा है, अभी ये करना है। हाँ, हमें वो चाहिए, अचीव करना है, बट आपका हाफ ऑफ द प्रोटोकॉल ऐसा होना चाहिए जो पेशेंट ऑलरेडी कर सकता है और आप उसको मोटिवेट कीजिए कि नहीं आप कर सकते हो। द पेशेंट इज इन द लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ पार्किंसन, राइट? तो लास्ट स्टेज पे कैसे गए? बिकॉज या तो डिजीज का स्पीड बहुत था, या तो डिजीज का स्पीड स्लो था, बट एक्सरसाइज बराबर हुई नहीं है, या मेडिकेशंस रेगुलरली ली नहीं है। सो फोकस ऑन दोस पॉइंट टू, कि वेदर यू आर टेकिंग योर मेडिकेशंस करेक्टली और नॉट ऑन करेक्ट टाइम रेगुलरली। कई बार ऐसा होता है पेशेंट 2-2.5 साल हो जाते हैं, डॉक्टर को दिखाने जाते ही नहीं है, न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट को, पर उनकी तकलीफ, उनके बॉडी का वेट और वो सबके हिसाब से डोज तो चेंज हो जाता है। सो दैट डोज which your patient is taking may not be enough. See, I'm just assuming. I don't know who is the patient, right? So check on his medication, on regular exercise thing, and diet and nutrition, sleep habit. If patient sleeps better, eats better, it can boost up his or her confidence to some extent. And if you make any difference to his ADL activity, it will boost up his confidence. Okay, how exposure of metal affect on Parkinson disease? Again, long-term metal deposition can damage your neurons. Long-term metal deposition, heavy metal depositions can damage your neurons, and that will damage your dopaminergic, any neuron, dopaminergic neuron too. It will decrease your dopamine level. What is the best and worst food for the Parkinson's? Oh, somebody is foodie. Okay, so best, nothing is best, and see, when it is in the terms of food, nothing is worst. People are not getting food, so you don't use these terms with food. Worst food, nothing is worst. Okay, okay. So best and worst जैसा कुछ नहीं है, but whenever you are taking your Syndopa medications, आप जब भी अपनी Syndopa लेते हो वो आपको empty stomach लेनी है, और उसके साथ कोई भी प्रोटीन वाला चीज नहीं लेना है, because जहां पे डोपामिन एब्जॉर्ब होता है वहीं पे आपका ये भी एब्जॉर्ब होता है, प्रोटीन भी एब्जॉर्ब होता है। अगर मेरे पास एक ही चेयर है और मुझे और राजल मैम को बैठना है, तो मैं पहले बैठ जाती हूँ, तो राजल मैम कांट सिट, क्योंकि मैंने जगह रोकी हूँ, और मैं प्रोटीन हूँ और राजल मैम मेडिसिन है, तो वो नहीं कर पाएंगे। ठीक है, तो वो वन साइड है। तो आपको अपनी सिंडोपा प्लस के साथ प्रोटीन वाला फूड नहीं लेना है। देर आर सर्टेन फूड्स जैसे कि डार्क चॉकलेट है या आलमंड्स है, वो सारी चीजें डोपामीन को कुछ हद तक बढ़ाती है, पर वो बहुत खाना पड़ता है। आपके पेशेंट को अगर डायबिटीज भी है तो यू कैन नॉट सजेस्ट देम ये कि आप डार्क चॉकलेट खाइए, आपका डोपामीन बढ़ जाएगा। ठीक है, बट व्हाट यू कैन अवॉइड इज कि आपको फिक्स टाइम खाने का रखना है, और ये नहीं करना है प्रोटीन वाले खाने के साथ 1 घंटा गैप करना है। अभी प्रोटीन वाला खाना कौन सा है? आपके जो दाल है, लेंटिल्स है, और जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन है उनके लिए जो चिकन वगैरह है वो रहता है। और अगर फिर भी आपको खाना है दवाई के तुरंत बाद, तो आप डिनर में खाइए, क्योंकि रात को कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं है, तो आपके सिम्टम अगर आते भी है तो आपको सो जाना है, तो इट डजंट बॉदर योर फंक्शनिंग। ओके, आई थिंक वी आर डन विद द क्वेश्चंस. Is there any questions?
No, ma'am. There are no more queries.
Okay.
So now I would request our today's moderator, Dr. Rajiv Sikhaji, to come up with the concluding remarks.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Go on.
yes, Hitashi ma'am. On behalf of our SRCP team, my sincere gratitude to your insightful presentation, ma'am. It's really very informative and it's really very helpful for our students too, ma'am. Thank you so much for your precious time. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now it's on over to
Thank
Bhavik
you.
sir.
Thank you, Rajal, for all those kind words. If anybody from you have relative or neighbor with Parkinson's or any movement disorder, you can contact us. We are doing free of cost treatment. We are NGO. You can contact us anytime.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, HSC ma'am, on behalf of Srimad Rajchandra College of Physiotherapy and team. I'm requesting all the participants or the students, those who are attending. Here I am forwarding the link to get an e-certificate in the chat section. Okay, after clicking on that link, you will be forwarding to the Google form where you have to answer certain questions, and the minimum score required to get e-certificate is 50% of total question answers. Fine. So if you get 50%, you will definitely get e-certificate, and it is limited to one response only. It is limited to one response only. So answer very carefully. Okay. So here I am forwarding the link.
Okay,
The
there are
link
so
has
many
already been
helpful.
forwarded.
Okay.
Okay, link has already been forwarded in the chat section to get an e-certificate. You can copy that link or you can open the link in the another tab. Okay, thank you HSC ma'am once again for your excellent and very knowledgeable session. I hope many of our students got a new idea about the apart from traditional approach. So
Yes.
thanks a lot, ma'am.
Okay. You're always welcome. I think students को समझना होगा कि what we are doing nowadays apart from books, because what traditional approach are very well known and very well explained in the books, and they are good, they are helpful too. But we are as a physiotherapy very developing field, हर रोज कुछ नया आता है और कुछ exercise, if with one exercise you can address more body parts, you should use it and save your time and on money. Right, we
Yes.
are NGO, we are doing free of cost, but this is for patients, right? Okay, happy World Physiotherapy Day.
Same to you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so once again, thank you to all the participants. Okay, all the dashing physios, those who are currently pursuing their graduation or post graduation, those who have already cleared their studies and working very actively in the field of physiotherapy. So, very happy World Physical Therapy Day. Thank you for joining us today. Uh, okay, once again, I am reminding you all that to get an e-certificate, the link of Google form has already been shared in the chat section. Okay. Okay, fine. So here we are concluding the meeting. Thank you all. Thank you once again for your active participation. I request to copy that link. Okay, for safer side, I am again forwarding that link in the chat section. I have once again forwarded the link in the chat section so that you can apply for the e-certificate.